Radical change means quiet surrender a lot of the time. Not a lot of people will tell you that. Hello, my subscribers. Welcome to my jail cell. I literally feel like I'm in jail. I'm going to start with a funny story, and then I want to invite you into my monthly membership, which is going to be my only focus other than my private clients as I go back to the beach in Huatulco in Zipolite to get back to nature and back to that sitting under a tree in a wooden chair in a place that I'm so glad that we arrived in. So, how are you? How are you in there? When everything out here seems a little bit loud, are you able to tap back in and find the stillness and the silence of the juiciest part of your being, where we're handed everything we need on a platter if we're just willing to eat from it? Okay. So I've had a great experience. I have, the last 2 weeks, quick recap, gone to a Deepak Chopra event in Tucson, which was really like coming home. And then right after that, I decided to do the complete opposite and go to Las Vegas. And so if you've ever come to one of my retreats or one of my soul ceremonies, you'll know that I always say, take a couple minutes to integrate the session before you get in your car and drive on the highway. And take a few days to integrate the retreat before you go into real life. And so landing in Vegas was just a comedy show because it was very overwhelming for me, but it was full of genius inspiration, wonderful speakers. Russell Brunson, if you know him, ClickFunnels owner, he's such a leader in the industry and such a genius in creating structure of funnels for those of us that really need structure. And he's got this incredible vision, and he's literally building a library full of some of the most oldest books and all of the books of some of the greatest leaders of all times. And it's a training center. And so here's someone really bringing a vision to life. And it was so juicy to be in that energy, but also to kind of retract inward and try to hide out in the spa as much as possible. So I booked my flight from Vegas, and I book the Marriott Hotel in the airport because that's just, I know myself. I'm going to be getting off of a plane. There's going to be a lot of people. I'm going to need sanctuary. And so I'm going to make it simple and just book the hotel right at the airport. And I usually have people that help me with this because my multi-focused brain needs someone to just say, here's your itinerary, here's where you're landing, you just need to get off the plane and go to where you're going. And then I go through these periods where I'm like, I can do it all myself. And then I'm in Las Vegas trying to book my hotel, and I didn't realize that I didn't finish the booking. So I arrive in Mexico and I get a little bit grumpy because the guys at the front desk won't give me the 3 months. They only give me the 6 months, which is so silly. So I had a lot of frustration because I said to them very kindly and compassionately, can you just give me 3 months? Because we've already been 3 months in Mexico. And if you give me 6 months, I have to start all over again for the residency program. And they were like, no, grumpy Mexico. I was so mad. And so triggers are glimmers if you know how to flip them and go into sort of a poetic shift of them. What I want to talk about today is surrender. Surrender. So what happened, of course, is I end up in this like kind of creepy other Marriott. I didn't even know Marriott's had creepy hotels, but they do. It's like a jail cell. There's probably an echo in here, and it's very cold. So I had to really, get away from first world problems into just surrendering everything. Everything. And those of you that follow me, you'll know that I got very entangled in the high-end coaching industry the last 2.5 years, huge investments. And one day I went, Marco, why are you not thriving in this environment? What is it that you're not thriving? Like, implementing was difficult for me. Taking all the concepts and applying them was difficult for me. And I finally just went, I think this is not for me. And a lot of things happened to really confirm that. A lot of things that were a really beautiful a sequence of events that got me back to authenticity, that got me back to my own values, that got me back to like, wait a minute, there's something off here. Now, when I teach about listening to your body, listening to your intuition, and we do want to push through, but we don't want to just push ourselves aside and do what we think we should be doing because that's what all the unicorns running in one directions are doing. So, how do we find the balance between finding structure in our wild spirits and really finding our way home to our biggest truth? A lot of times it's surrender. It's surrender. Ian, my co-parent and my dear partner for life, because we're co-parenting children, he told me a story about getting caught in a wave once, and I've been teaching him how to come out like a king out of the water. And you can see now that he knows how to ride the wave and let the wave push him in instead of getting caught up in it. So I'm a master of the waves. Now, when you get caught up in the current, and he told me about this giant wave that got him caught up and he was fighting, and he's like, for sure I was going to die. And so I just let my body loose and I just gave in to this is the end for me. And he says, and that was the moment that the wave brought him elegantly back to shore and he got a breath, and he was a little bit bruised and beat up. And then he took a breath and he walked out, and he is thankfully alive because we've created beautiful children that I'm so excited to see. So with surrender, we come to this place where we've tried so hard, we've done so much, we've done all the things. We know what we want, we know where we're going, and it seems like nothing's working. And then suddenly we have to just go, let go and go with the flow and put down everything. Put yourself in a quiet room and know that even the jail cell is exactly where you need it to be. Because in the dark of a jail cell, you turn on the flicker of the candle, and that's where you find your enlightened self. Your enlightened self. So I'm going back to the beach today. I'm so excited to have a salty swim, and I want to invite you into my world. The only thing I'm really going to be doing this month is focusing on writing my book and nurturing my membership. I'm really not going to do more than that, and that's more than enough. So I'm very excited to follow my own guidance and simplify, and get back to the heart of purpose. Okay, I've had so many golden nuggets of what I'm here to do. And in truth, the inner Buddhist could go be in Mexico and just be in a simple existence, and that would be enough. But when you have a purpose, it's driven into your DNA, it's written in your coding like a computer, and it doesn't leave you alone. And the more you try to push it out, the more crazy you're gonna feel. So the purpose has to be redirected until you stand solid in it. You learn how to ask for what you need. You learn how to receive what you need. And then you surrender. So I know a lot of you are in a surrender stage. A lot of you are in a resistance phase. And a lot of you are in a very successful part of your life. And perhaps you're just needing a tiny tweak. You want to manifest that soulmate, that ideal guy in your life, or you want to have a quarterly call where I can go through your energy, go through your plan, look at the blueprint of your business, like the UFO ship that it is. And those one-on-one offers that are a little more high ticket are always available. They're just not currently listed on my website because we might be changing to a funnel. We'll see. I'm not decided yet, but I think going by the book sometimes is a good thing to do. So when I get quiet, I'll let you know what are the updates. For the membership, we have 2 calls this month. So with 2 calls, one is going to be actually a meditation and a clearing session to help you drop the chaos and conflict, get into the heart of your soul, find the stillness of surrender, and know what to do next. The second call is not yet determined. We will see what that's about. I've been getting so much about the changing world, about how we're going to maneuver in it, about how we're going to allow our sensory skills to guide us instead of overwhelm us. And so 2 calls as well as a weekly drop where there's a reading that comes in. One of the girls in the membership today said, is this a personal reading? Because it sounds like it's exactly for me. That's the beauty of being in a membership. As a psychic, we go beyond the predictable all the time into the highest potential. And we need to be held more than ever right now in warm and juicy communities where you feel safe and like anything is possible, basically. All right. So to get in on that, it's $188. I'm gonna have the link in here. You're welcome to join us. It's a pretty yummy space. Or you can join us for $111 before the end of February, where it then switches to $188. This is also where you receive all of my unpublished sacred special offers just for you that you won't see on my website or anywhere else. All right? So I met this really fun guy at the bar. I was guided to just walk into the bar before the conference the other day, and exactly what I was hoping to manifest was a beautiful, strong, solid man who I was able to share with my business, his business. We ate together. We gave each other a lot of guidance and support. And he said, girl, you got the story down. Like, you can talk. You sure got the story down. And we're working on hooks and offers. When I hear the word hooks and offers, I'm just like, I'm so done with offers. Like, for me, I'm just like, I don't even want to hear that word anymore. So I want you to pay attention to the places where there's resistance, because resistance creates itself for two good reasons. One is to challenge you to get back to the flow where there's least resistance. And one is, what am I making harder than it has to be? Mind the gap. You know, when you're on the subway in London and the loudspeaker says, mind the gap. Between A and B and between A and Z is a gap of consciousness. When you can train yourself to get into the gap, everything that's going on around you doesn't even matter. You realize that you are this floating in space creator, that the world is your oyster, and you can do whatever the hell you want. Welcome to Margot's World. Links below. You can join us this month where we have 2 calls, which is bonus for this month. And next call, we do 1 call and you get a drop weekly reading that will go right into your text. Easy, simple, breezy, beautiful cover girl. I love you. Let's get real.